Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and today we'll be discussing the Florida State Seminoles football schedule for the 2023 season. First up, let me talk about Florida State last year. They went from a 5-7 team to a 10-3 team, saving Mike Norvell's job. And I think this team just played very good last year, went above all expectations you can have for this team. Winning 10 games is very good for them. Beating Florida, their main rivals, I'd say, is a huge accomplishment, and I think Florida State fans should be very proud of their team. Also beating LSU to start the year, which they'll have to try to do again this year. Great job. But now they're going to take the next step, probably looking for an ACC title game appearance this year. So let's just get into it. First up, you're playing at Orlando. This could be a home game, kind of, for Florida State since it's in Florida. But you're playing LSU. Last year, that was a phenomenal game. It came down to the wire, came down to a block extra point at the side of the game with no time left. So this game, I don't think it's going to be as close this year as that one because you can't get that much closer than that. But I do think the result will be different. I got LSU winning this one because I like Jayden Daniels isn't bad. I think their offense is not going to be the main thing that's going to win in this game. I think Harold Perkins is going to lead this team on defense. I think this team is going to be. I think LSU probably be a top 10 defense this year. Harold Perkins just looks phenomenal. If you heard me in the LSU video that I had talk about him, I talk about him like he's the next Von Miller, which he probably is. He's a sophomore too, and you could just watch what he did against Arkansas. Just watch that game, LSU versus Arkansas. He dominated completely every single part of the game. So I think that'll be tough for Florida State to stop. So I got Florida State losing this game, dropping the first game of the year. But I think they'll do pretty good against LSU, but just not enough. Then you're at home versus Southern Miss. You'll beat Southern Mississippi, so you get your first win of the year. Yay. And then you're going to Boston College, starting your conference play, and you're going to beat Boston College. That's pretty simple. Then this is probably your most important game of the year, just based off significance of what happens in the conference. We'll rely on this game. Florida State at Clemson. I think Clemson can be very good this year. I think Cade Klubnik's can be very good. I think he might have some problems. If you have struggles against Tennessee's defensive secondary, like he had in the Orange Bowl last year, you might have problems against a lot of these teams too. But I think Dabo Swinney will have his team prepared. But again, Clemson is a tough place to play at, but it's not the most difficult. They're not unbeatable. They're not like they were when they had Trevor Lawrence. This team is not unbeatable, and I think Florida State will show out today. They'll probably play their best game of the year this game. I got Jordan Travis going crazy. I think their skill positions are very good. I like how their running backs played in the spring game. I like how their defense can get pressure on the quarterback too, make them have to roll out, and make Cade Klubnik have to make decisions on the run instead of just sitting in the pocket. So I think Florida State will be able to edge out Clemson in this game. So I got Florida State winning. And then after this tough-fought game, you're going home and playing Virginia Tech. That's a free win. So it's doing pretty good now after the LSU loss. I think I got you winning 4 in a row, and then you'll go to 5 in a row when you play Syracuse, because Syracuse was very good to start last year, and they will not do that same thing this year. So I got Florida State winning this one, continuing their win streak, and then you're at home again versus Duke. Duke is one of those teams I think they can have some problems with. I had them beating Notre Dame. You can watch that video. I had them talking about Clemson. A video too about they can have a little problems with Duke. I don't think Florida State's gonna have a bunch of problems with Duke. I got Florida State winning this one. And then you're on the road going to Wake Forest. Without Sam Hartman, I don't think Wake Forest is gonna be that good. They'll be competing to maybe make a bowl game. But Florida State ain't competing just to barely make a bowl game. They're competing for possible playoff berth. So I got Florida State winning this one. And right now, you're on like a 7-game winning streak. Couldn't ask for much better. You're in a high of all highs. Now you're going to have to come back to earth here. You're playing Pittsburgh on the road. Pittsburgh has a thing that they don't humble teams, but they put teams in their place. Remember, like last year, they played Tennessee. At the time, it didn't look like a great, like Tennessee. They lost to Tennessee, of course, but and went to overtime. It was a very tightly contested game. I was like, wow, what a great game this was. But like, you could beat Tennessee. Well, Tennessee is becoming the number one team in the country, so that loss didn't look bad. It looked actually really good. In the grand scheme of things, a couple years ago, they beat an undefeated Miami team when they were ranked second in the country. Yes, Miami was once very good. And then the year before that, I'm pretty sure they beat Clemson at Clemson when they had Deshaun Watson, which was a very tough team to beat. Shout out to James Conner for that. And then he played at Pitt. And I think something like that will happen again this year. I got Pittsburgh winning this game. I think it'll be close, but I got Pitt winning. So I got Florida State dropping this one. And then after this type of loss, you want to just blow out whoever you play next. And you're at home and you're playing Miami. You're gonna beat Miami. I've talked about before. I'm not a big fan of Miami. I don't think they're gonna be that good. So I think that will continue. I think Florida State's gonna win. And then you're at home again versus North Alabama. You're gonna beat North Alabama. It's North Alabama. So yeah. And then you're playing your main rivals. Florida, you're going to Florida. You're going to the Swamp. Last year they went to your place and you won. Jordan Travis showed out on a national level. Played on ABC and he showed out. It was a great game. I hope they have another close game like this year, but it's Florida and I think Florida's going to suck this year. So I got Florida State winning this one. So this means I got Florida State going 10-2 on the year. Couldn't ask for much of a better year than this. I think some games can flip-flop. I think they could lose at Clemson, but they also could beat Pitt and LSU. I mean, that's the same thing for every team. You could win some, you lose some. All these great teams could win all their games, but just highly doubting that. There's very few teams ever do win all their games, and very few ever just dominate every team. So, yeah, I got Florida State going 10-2 this year. Hope you all have a great day. Hit the like button if you like the video. Subscribe. We talk about college football every day, and I discuss stuff on my shorts. Check it out. And yeah, hit the subscribe button. Comment whatever you want, because I'd love to hear y'all's opinions about this stuff. I love hearing y'all's opinions about what you think about the schedule and what your favorite team's going to be like. And yeah, I hope you all have a great day, and God bless y'all.